I see.
There you go.
Okay. Have you finished? So ya está. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we? Pardon the noise in the background. 1 minute. Pero Lucía, necesito comer más. Sí, pero mira, come un poquito más, un poco más tomate. Que sí, claro, pero come un poquito más, Lucía. ¿Dónde vais ahora? ¿Quieres yogur? Vale, pero ¿quiere yogur? Yogur, sí, vale. Venga. Papá coge yogur, ¿vale? ¿Quiere yogur? Vale. What? Sí, vale. No, hey, sit down. Siéntate. Siéntate. ¿Quiere yogur? ¿No quiere yogur? ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué quieres, cariño? No, no, sí, no, ese es mando de papá. Vale, dile adiós. Dame un besito. Un besito. Mira, Lucía. Say PGR. PGR. Pues, adiós, PGR. Adiós, cariño. Adiós, I love you. I love you. What's that, gentleman? Sorry about that. Oh shit, yeah, you heard all of that, yeah. Well, I was on mute. 1 minute. 1 moment, Squire. I am on the way. You say it's running there. You know it, Stephen, mate. You know it. Stiggy, I can't see you, bud. I can't see you. It's Speechy. Offline friends. Where are ya? Where are ya? Maybe I've missed you up here. Look at that name. Fish on Sniff. Jesus Christ. I can't. Where's that? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know, Stephen. Is it that one? Is it Clarky? Oh, Chubby Slug, still got him. Oh, Nelly. For sure it's Nelly, for sure. You're not showing up. You're not showing up, Stiggy. Let me get you into the chat anyway. I haven't even started the party yet, so... Anyway, I started our party from the other day. I just need to make sure my volume's alright. Yes. 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 Arbeg Doreen. That's the big news for tonight. Current championship leader, Arbeg Doreen, is on his Stiggy.
Hello. Is this working? I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you... Is your bloody thing buggered again? I am quiet as fuck. Why am I so quiet? Hellfire. Oh wow, it actually is really quiet. Right. Wait. Is that any better? Right. I can hear me. Hello chat. I can hear myself in the stream now, but again, Mick can't hear me, so his headset's knackered. I've had an invite.
Seems to be he's
Right.
currently not
Hello
racing
Mick.
tonight, so it's all down to Mr. Dave Riley. He's currently not racing tonight.
Right.
There we go. I don't want to hear myself back in the stream.
You can hear yourself back. I think you can hear me
We've got a few in the chat. Let's have a look. Stiggy, we got Arbe Dory, the legend. We got Jay. We got Pray for Ye. How you doing, buddy? We got Bassam. We got Eggolf.
Right.
We got Vash Steel, who I believe is Alligator. Yes. Stiggy, right?
Hello. You still can't hear me, can you? You're. I can hear you in your chat. I can hear myself in your chat.
There you go.
Right. You
Stiggy,
can hear me now.
I
Hello.
can hear you now, mate. You're not as loud as you were
Hey.
last week, but I can hear you coming through, mate.
I don't know what's going on. Every week, my mic decides to change its mic level. So mine is now at the maximum level it can be. Then another week, it's going to be like ret loud. So,
Just
but God knows, mate. Right. Got some technical R difficulties here. Right. Let's get some rest in peace in the chat for Mixed Mike. Been a good run. Mixed Mike still having a problem.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now,
Can you hear me
Stiggy?
now? I can hear you now, yeah.
Yeah, I realised why you were so low, mate.
Why?
My daughter turned the volume down on my headphones.
I've maxed out my volume on my
Yeah,
console.
like you're
So,
coming,
alright now.
you're coming clear. You're coming through loud and clear, mate. Loud and clear.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. That's what I like to hear. Hi, chat.
So
Who we got
it's
in
it's a shame about Masters, mate.
I know it is a bit of a shame. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But again, I mean, it can't be helped. I think, I was chatting to Manic about it earlier. Obviously, it's kind of good to get an idea about many of the reasons why. I think some of the bigger issues are to do with pace difference. I mean, unlike I think the rest of the tiers, there's a distinct maybe top 6 or 7 people in Masters, and then half of them are even quicker. So you've got basically you've got me, Stocker, JT, people like that in the top 7, but then you've also got people like Lemons and Che and the new guy George Plaster, who we haven't even seen all season because they're another step in front of us.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And I think, to be fair, I mean it used to be slightly easier when it was just Vampire Lemons by himself because he's working alone. But I think if you've got people that you're able to work with and obviously get on with and stuff quite well within the race, it makes it even harder to catch up to them because then you've got DRS trains. I think
Yeah, I have noticed that. I have noticed that the last couple of weeks.
Of like racecraft, I think some of the people in the tier haven't got much like IQ. I think I mentioned it a lot in when I was doing comms for Kota last week in Champions. Race IQ is a really big thing to deal with, and obviously we might well see it in the race in Canada, tonight. Where we've got drivers, helping out or working with the drivers, and people just defending their position. I'm sure we'll see it because I think it happens a lot, especially on tracks like this where getting away is really vital because the DRS is so powerful here that if you can get away from it, you've neutralised one person.
Yeah.
And that IQ really comes into play. Working out, okay, I'm slower than the car behind. If I let him by, I can probably keep up with him, and then I can get him back later.
Yeah, it's all about no matter what tier you're in. No matter what tier you're in, it's all about strategizing your race.
It's really big on this game. The problem is, as we obviously even spoke about just this time last week, we've got basically you can be a second a lap slower than the car in front of you and still maintain DRS and essentially keep up. Almost. On the previous game, it was maybe 4 or 5 tenths of a second because the DRS wasn't as powerful. Battery management wasn't a thing as much, which made it more entertaining later on into the race, and it gave people more strategy about your battery and stuff, again, the slipstream effect is too strong, and the dirty air isn't strong enough, right? And that's basically what we're dealing with on this game, and you'll probably see some more of it tonight. This track is, this track really is about, a lot of slipstream effect and stuff as well. But no, anyway, I thought I'd say hello first. I haven't actually said hello yet. It's a pleasure to be here again. Appreciate the spare seat in the chat.
I know. I've been looking at the standing. I ain't even gone through the standings yet, to be honest with you. No, but the big news tonight. What I do know is the Mercedes boys, who currently have 2 driving tonight, are 80 points in front of McLaren, who only have 1 driver driving tonight, and that driver, as you can see by the leaderboard, is on his outlap, but he has a quali ban. The current championship leader, Arbeg Dory, Speechy, a little knobhead, hope you well. And the current championship leader, Arbeg Dory, is currently not racing tonight. He's sunning himself up in Turkey. So but it is actually 11 p.m. at night in Turkey, and the legend is actually tuned into the stream. So, Arbegdori, Adil, hope you're having a good good holiday, mate.
Is he then?
He's on holiday, mate. Yeah, he messaged me. He messaged me earlier on.
Well, welcome to the stream. I mean, I think I obviously didn't manage to catch your race completely, but that is 2 points in it now. I think Riley really needs to have a clean race here. He doesn't need to go for the win. I think this is the biggest thing. He's all this is right now is just almost damage limitation, right? I mean, I don't know who is the outright quicker between these two guys. You know, and obviously it's pretty clear that both Riley and Arbegdori are a fair bit in front of the other drivers in this tier. You know, we've got. But in saying that, Mav, a 74-point lead difference between.
Yeah, but you saying that though, Mav's been there and thereabouts. He's got the pace, Mav, but he just needs to get it all together. There's a few other drivers, I believe, in this. Pray for Yi. He hasn't had the best of races, but I definitely know he's got the pace to match them boys at the front. You've got a couple of drivers that ain't racing tonight in Lee Webb and Max Lax. They're always there or thereabouts. So still quite a few. I've noticed we've got a new driver in the lobby tonight in Adam Klamvik. Never noticed, unless he's changed his screen name, but I've never noticed him before. So
welcome to the tier, mate.
But I do believe Riley is the first man to set a lap, and that's on 110.8. All's lovely out the way there. Here's another driver that can mix it up, but he just hasn't maybe had the best of strategy calls. He's had a bit of coming together here and there, but old Cordon Bleu, old dental technician as he goes by. Adam is Disco Bobby. There we go. So he's changed his name.
Right.
There we go. So Cordon Bleu, just as I say that, look, he goes 7/10 in pole. So I do know that he can mix it up.
From what I've seen as well, which is quite good news, I have a sim dash that I use for my racing. That's a little app on my phone that I use to kind of. Yeah,
I used to use that before. I used to use it when I used to race.
The good news is it's working for me, spectating other people's other cars, so I can see extra information such as their sector times during the lap they're on.
Can you see tyre wear?
I can't. The one thing I can't actually see is tyre wear percentage. It's a little bit.
I used to have that app. I can't remember the app. The app I used to use. But you could download many different screen setups, and I always used to have tyre wear. And when I used to flick through, Pookie, how are you, bud? When I used to flick through other drivers, I could see their tyre wear.
Yeah, so I can see the tyre wear of like myself when I'm in a race, but I can't see on a spectator cam. I can see other details such as what does it look like here? It'd be good to kind of get a heads up. Current speed, tyre temperature, I think is another thing as well. I can see, which would be quite beneficial to see if anybody's struggling with overheating. Throughout, and details such as onboard amount of fuel and stuff like that. But no tyre.
Well, what you're talking about there, I'll definitely recommend that. If everybody's only got a spare mobile laying about, what I'll do is I'll try and dig out the app that I used to use.
The one I use, I'll probably see about the one I use as well. It's just called Sim Dashboard. I think it cost me like it was like £8 for every game, basically. I mean, I only really use it for like Gran Turismo, F1, and like Assetto Corsa. But
what's it called?
Much for every game. The name is your game of the one. It's just called Sim Dashboard.
I think that's the one that I used to. I think that's the one that I used to. I think that's the one that I used to have. And I actually uploaded. But my dashboard was absolutely full. People used to download it and say it was too much. I had everything. The car behind, the car in front, the sector times, the lap, my telemetry. I had absolutely everything on mine.
I only see enough to kind of see the car, like to see my own car. It's just to stop me from viewing details on my stream and stuff and have it all in one place. Death Whisperer, Stiggy pays for setups. Yes, he's right.
Death Whisperer, that's actually Mav, just to let you know.
Yeah, he does. He's right because I spoke to him. Obviously, I don't know how long ago it was. You know, back in the legacy tier, I run VSE setups. So I don't know if you're aware of a man called Alex Gillen, who's a YouTube streamer. He has his own setup thing. It's a bit like SRC, albeit a bit more on the you know, optimal setup for kind of like, you know, predictable driving. You know, you can buy SRC setups that are
I've heard about that.
They have to be driven there. I didn't really want that. I was happy with a decent setup that felt quite good, you know. And they do me a favour. The problem is I never used to do it, but the problem is as soon as, you know, one person starts buying setups, everybody else has to, because it's all about catching up with the leader, right?
Yeah.
And that's a big issue, right? I mean something that I've started doing in my races as well more recently is like the ERS charging at the end of the straight. Basically, you know, at the end of the straight you set your battery to none, downshift to 7th, and then downshift and then upshift again, and you get a load of battery back. You know, so the problem with that is it encourages DRS training, so it's really weird, but it's all about, as more as this game that goes through its life cycle, more and more things are kind of being discovered with it to make it more entertaining.
Yeah, and just as we were speaking there, Disco Bobby, Adam, put himself up into pole.
Yeah, he did, 10-0.
Diablo,
really nice,
how are you, bud? I don't know if Gaz is going to be on tonight, I'm not too sure. Poor fella, bless him, my brother. His dog died the other day. He's had his dog for like 10, 15 years. And obviously the 3 kids he has absolutely idolised the dog. And just for being alright, I hope you don't mind me saying it on the stream, but from being alright on the Friday, got a little bit sick on Saturday and then passed away on Sunday night. So, don't know if he'll be on tonight, I'm not too sure.
So, I'm just currently sat on board with Destructive J as he makes a mistake. That probably bans his lap here. I think
and this is his third lap on them tyres, if you can see.
I did. Hi Diablo, welcome as well, nice to see you, mate.
And Alligator now goes in pole, first man into the 109s.
So I'm aware that I think again, like my pole time last time I was here was, I don't know how many months ago now it was, but I was an 8.8 was the pole time for Master Tier last time we were here.
And that sounds about right, Stiggy, because remember you've got a division in between this and Masters, so
absolutely.
Sounds about.
So
I reckon there's about I reckon there's about half a tenth. It's about half a second between each tier, I do believe.
I think on a track like this, I think it's more noticeable. Like for example, right now I'm just looking at Fear. We've got Zoltan on pole with a 9.5. Currently in the second divs, the Champions Division. The weather is a bit less, it's a bit more cloudy, admittedly, on their stream, but I'm expecting pole for maybe that tier to be maybe 9.4, 9.3.
I just heard you say Alligator, is that Zoltan? Yeah.
No. Zoltan in the Champions Division.
Okay,
I'm just looking at Fear
yeah.
stream. Here we go, as Raz and Destroy on their team, on that div goes provisional pole with a 9.3. So, you know, we're kind of backing up the information here that I expect we'll probably see maybe another 2 or 3 tenths come out of these guys, possibly a low 7, high 6.
I definitely know Riley's got a bit more time in him, but he's still got to find 7 tenths to get into the 9s. So
yeah,
I reckon we're looking, for me personally, Stiggy, I reckon we're about a mid 7, possibly low 8 for pole, I believe here.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit optimistic, maybe lean for again like a low 7, high 6, but maybe, it'd be good to kind of see, you know, what these guys are capable of. You know, it's.
If it was any other track, Stiggy, if it was any other track, yeah, but there's not. With it being Canada, so many straights. Okay, the Wall of Champions, the last chicane, you can make up a bundle of times there. Like I said, it's a 30-odd lap race, and I'll be the first one to say that I remember racing around Canada, and I don't think back-to-back on laps I took the Wall of Champions chicane the same twice round. Never. Always take a different line, always take a different... You take a bit too much curb one time, bit too much curb another time. So it's one of them corners that if you can hit that perfectly right, that's where you can gain a lot of time on this lap.
Yeah. So a bit of information about ready for the race. Obviously, it gives these guys, if they're watching it all, as well a bit of a chance to make their strategies for the race. Tyre wear here is really low. First thing we're looking at is, I think realistically speaking, the hards can just about do the race distance here on this track without any major problems. I think they obviously they'll drop off pretty hard, but the tyre wear here, I think if looked after correctly, can actually do the full distance. So an early safety car, you could see drivers diving onto the hards and going to the end.
And we've got Cordon Bleu, took a lot of curb on the exit of the Wall of Champions. Has he managed to gain some time? Is he going to put it into the nines? Yes, he is. And he dips it well into the nines. So Stiggy, Stiggy, you may be right, because we've got 6 minutes left. It's a very short lap round here, so Cordon Bleu will easily get round.
Get a little bit more track evolution. This track is not as significant for it, I think, than others, because of obviously the shade for a start, and obviously it's a smaller circuit. I think the biggest of evolution you'll get actually is driver commitment, as opposed to track evolution itself. Yeah. I'm expecting to see maybe the likes of Riley and people maybe like Pray for Ye, kind of like full send into the Wall of Champions, just to see if they gain any time. Worst case is that you lose a tyre. Example like Cordon here, he's in a good position on pole, provisional pole here. I think he can maybe even just absolutely launch it into the Wall of Champions, see if he gains any more time and gets a solid lap. It's kind of the one track where you can actually, it's beneficial trying to crash here in the final corner.
But since you've made that comment. Sorry to interrupt you there, Stiggy, but since you've made that comment, that's ringing in my head. I've never really noticed that before, but that's an absolute huge comment you've just made about the track being in the shade. Now, since you've made that comment, I've been looking at Cordon Bleu on his laps. I'm still on board with him, and the trees that hang over the circuit, it literally shadows out the whole track. It does. I've never noticed that before.
There's a big issue with tyre temperature as well. I think tyre temps. I'm expecting drivers won't be running maximum temperatures here for the race. I think, for example, I wouldn't be at the highest level on the tyre temps here. I think I'd have the which one was it? I think I'd have the left tyres. I think slightly more heated. No, which one is it? Pardon me. I'd have the left tyre slightly more heated than the right, because there's a lot more left corners on this track, and obviously they're a bit heavier on the car. Because we're on board with Alligator here as he goes purple sector 1 with the 19.3.
I'm currently on board with Mooney, man. He's just coming through the Wall of Champions now. He's going to be looking, I believe, at a low 10. I don't think he's going to get into the 9s. And yet, look, there he is, a low 10. Puts himself up into 6.
Nice clean line there from Alligator, though. Nice clean line through the chicane. Let's see how he gets the car stopped here. It's kind of good to see the attitude of the rear end as it comes into this corner. Little bit of ABS, gets it rotated in nicely. Is he running traction control? Car, no, he's not. Doesn't sound like it, but good exit there from Alligator. He's got a fair amount of ERSF that I expect to probably use and dump at the end of the after the Wall of Champions.
And he's running low on fuel as well. You can see his fuel light flashing, and he pits it. So that tells me he knows he's got enough time in the bag. He's going to come in, because maybe it might have been, even though it's a short lap, maybe it might have been a struggle for him to finish this lap, get round, get in and get out again, with there being 3 minutes. So if he feels that he's got time in the bag, if he feels very surprised to see Mr. PGR himself, Destructive J, down in 13th.
Again, I think I was on board with Jay, and again his confidence. I noticed that the car was a little bit upset going on one of his earlier laps. He really
as it was in
the car rotated in here.
As it was in Kota last week. Yeah.
I'm going to sit on board with him here. Actually, he's going to prepare for his lap, because it'd be good to kind of see how the attitude feels, because he's got time to make changes before the race starts. I think. You never want to run level wings in this game, maybe apart from Monaco, as we start on board with Jay. And look at the understeer, which is really not happy.
Wow.
So he's going to come up to the line now and start the lap. He should be all the way over to the right, late on the brakes, and trigger as much curb as he's down well there into turn 1. That's really reserved from Jay. Nice use of the inside line, though, just kind of chips to the curb to allow the car to rotate. Decent exit out of 2. Chucks in for 3. This is blind, this is. And you see
very tentative there, really, very tentative,
scared. He's really scared about this one at the moment, as he's already given up.
I believe he's given up, and he's going to go again.
I think he's going to charge again, so I think
he's going to charge up,
this track is difficult. I mean, that first sector's really difficult. There's a couple, there's like one corner in the first sector that's difficult, and it makes all the difference, because it's blind. You can't see it, especially in the race when you've got other cars around you. You have to just kind of almost go
on board with Speechy there. Speechy's had a big moment into the second chicane. I think he's actually pulled out of his lap. We've got Prof up there in fourth place.
Prof's on a lap, and he actually has 4 cars in front of him, all waiting to start a lap. So I think they should give you out of his way here. No, he's not on a lap. He's charging to go again. Prof is as well. So he's going to go again.
So we're going to go again.
Yeah.
Gordon Blur, I don't think is going to get out for another lap, so he's currently in the pits. He's not going to get out for another lap, I do believe. No.
I think Prof's being silly here, using them with the battery at the end of this lap, unless he's going to throw it into the pit lane and call it a day. He's into none. Yep, he's giving up Prof. He's took the P4. Who's going to start a lap? Who's next over the line then? Let's have a look.
I believe it'll be Speed Cheat, or it could be one of the Mercs. I think it'll be Basson. Basson's going to be first man.
Let's go on board Basson. Let's give him the time of day. So down into turn 1. Let's have a look at the commitment. Slightly more committed than Jay, a lot more used to the curve on the right hand side though, and just lets the car push out to the curve on the outside. Again, let's see if he's going to take this in 1 turn or 2. Gets it chucked in nicely.
Very nicely.
That's a good use of the line.
Stays off the exit curve there as well.
Attitude of the car though, a little bit on the bias to the rear I can feel, but he's throwing it nicely there. Very, very tentative again. I think the assists are probably hampering him because he can't feel the car underneath him because it's not going to squirm, unlike a car that hasn't got traction control. Nice use of the curb on the inside there to get it rotated, but again he's not pushing up to the edge. But again, being a second off the pace, it's understandable that he wants a safe lap in here. Turned in nicely, down to first though, which isn't ideal for him at all. With bad exit.
Just flicks on board with Jay. Just flicks on board with Jay. He's actually currently in front of Basson, but he's invalidated his lap, so, Jay's going to be 13th.
See if Basson's using all the overtake now. Let's see how
committed. How committed is he?
Very nice.
Full commitment. Full commitment there.
I expect probably a low 10 here, maybe a 2. 10-2, there we go.
There you go.
Into 5th place.
Fifth place, great lap.
Riley,
let's jump on board with Riley. He wants to get a good... Where does he put himself? Riley goes only 7th behind his teammate. And I say that in all the greatest respect, only 7th, but Alligator goes in pole, takes pole by the smallest of margins of Cordon Bleu. Now there's Cordon Bleu.
As well.
Cordon Bleu. And he goes up into 3rd. The 3rd man into the 9s. Great lap there from Looney Man.
It was a very decent commitment to the final corner there.
Really impressed me these last couple of weeks as Looney Man. Really impressed me.
Yeah, attitude of the car looked nice there for Looney going in the final couple of corners. He kind of trusted that the nose would go with him, and it worked. Again, I mean, the RB cut out the front row, really good job. And again, a low 7 for a pole round here is a low 9.7. Sorry, is a good lap. So well
and
done
I do believe I do believe, albeit we've still got the race to go, but I do believe Mr. Championship leader, Mr. Arbeg Dory himself, has seen Dave Riley qualifying 8th, and he's just shouted the waiter and called himself on another cocktail, I do believe.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, this is a track that's, again, because of the low tyre wear, there's a huge chance here that an early safety car can completely change a race, because the mediums won't do 20 laps, but the hards will do all 35.
And big shout out from Pookie. Me and Stiggy should have noticed that, but it's actually a
Vika RB12. Yeah,
I don't call him Vika. Toro Rosso, mate. I stay old school, mate. Toro Rosso 1-2.
Is it not Minardi or is it Jaguar? Minardi? Which one
is
it then?
It could be one of them. It'd be one of them. It'd be one of them, mate. It'd be one of them.
Cue the crab wave, yeah. I mean, this will be a good little race, I think. Is it going to be a dry race? So the drivers, I think something to bear in mind here is mediums is the way forward. Medium hard here absolutely is the way forward. There's a big pace difference. The problem you've got is DRS is quite powerful. You're just not going to catch the other car for the simple reason that because of how long the hards go, it's almost unpredictable how much you can undercut. The fact is that you start on the mediums, right? Well, you start on the mediums can do up to 20 laps, and the hards do the entirety of the race difference. So you start on the hards and maybe take them at least 15 laps. You've then got to do 20 laps on the mediums that are going to die out in the end, right? Whereas you start on the mediums, you can do 15 laps, and then you've got 20 laps of fresh hards that won't wear out. You could be dealing with 9 or 10 lap different tyre wear, right? Which is going to be in your advantage. But with the hard tyres not wearing out very much, you're going to be the chance of actually doing an overcut here are quite slim.
And there we go. Look at that.
Speaking of, we've got Alligator on the hards, which is interesting actually. Let's have a look what everyone's on. He is on a lot of drivers on the hards actually.
Yeah, I've got it on screen now. We've got 1, 2, 3,
really
4.
Interesting.
Mav at the back of the pack. He's currently on the medium, so he's going to want to look to escape these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hard runners in front of him as soon as possible. We've got Speechy in ninth on the medium. Pray
the
for
only
you.
thing, this is really weird. Now, there could be a reason for this. It could be that there's obviously a strategy call and it's changed since our last drove here, or there's rain on the way.
Late in the race.
We simply won't know. The thing is that, you know, again, it's perfectly bright at the moment, but it's odd to see so many drivers run what basically is the alternate strategy. You know, as I've said, the hards, someone's just binned it in the back of the screen. I don't know, that's a Haas. I think it's, someone's just cracked M Mystery. Is it? No, he's not. It's his teammate. It's Royal Rumble. Drops it in the back of the screen there. So he's going to want to make his place back up. As I was saying, you know, the hards will do the full distance, right? So safety car, let's say end of lap 1, you can put the hards on and go at the end because you got maybe 2 or 3 laps grace as the safety car sorts itself out, and then you got a 32 lap sprint to the end on the hards, and you've already made your pit stop. Right?
I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised we've got this many hard runners from the start.
It really is interesting. So I think immediately before the race starts, Alligator needs to let Cordano go. First thing he needs to do is...
And Alligator's missed his pit stop. I'm sitting at the front of the grid and I see him pointing his car to the right to cover off Cordon Bleu, but he's ended up mucking up his start, and now he's sat back. And with the tyre, we're going to stay on. We're going to stay on board. Normally, I jump on. Normally, I jump on board. We're going to keep this. We're going to keep this view. And Cordon Bleu looks like he's had an absolute fantastic start, and he's already got in front of his teammate. And now he's getting attacked from the Aston Martin from Looney Man behind. But Disco Bobby's had a great start. So now we will jump on board.
Really poor start there from Alligator. I mean, no traction control, straight into second gear. He's lit the rears up and nothing's happened, right? And that's why Cordano, as he's binned it, he's already out the race.
Oh no, he's out! Wow, and is this going to be the safety car that you sent, Stiggy? Now, are these medium runners, if they're listening to the stream, these medium runners, if they're listening to the stream, are they going to get themselves in the pit, put on the hard, and that's them done for the rest of the race, theoretically?
I think it is. I think with enough looking after and maintenance of the tyres, you can go at the end on the hards here. It's one of the few tracks that you can do it. It's just over 2% a lap in tyre wear, and I think the tyres could be, I mean, they're going to be crap after about 40-45%, but they'll go to about 70, right? And the fact is that you can take them to the end, right?
And what you've got to take into account as well, you take into account, sorry Stiggy, you take into account there that you're going to be bunched up with a safety car now. They may be crap after 45%, but you're going to have that 20-second gap for the other drivers having to do a pit stop. So let's jump on board with Mav.
Yeah, I mean, the pit stop time is actually quite short. Only 16 seconds.
No one's pit. Mav's the only one that's pit. Mav is the only one that's pit.
I think Mav's listening, and I think it's the right decision for him. He's got nothing to lose. He's already at the back, and that's where he's gonna stay. The best thing for Mav can do at the moment is not get impatient.
Mav had to pit. I'm on board with Mav now. He had to change his wing.
Change. Yeah, but it could be worse. He's at the back. You know, the fact is, Mick, he's already done his mandatory pit stop for the race, right?
Yeah.
So even now, if there's a safety car, lap 15, right? Mav's got a brand new set of mediums ready to go, and all the other cars have got to go on the other tyre, right? So he's still in a good position here. This race for Mav is absolutely not over. Now, again, as I said, he can't get complacent. He needs to be patient. He needs to realise that just because I'm on these tyres doesn't mean that I can, you know, throw them about like I'm doing coin laps all over the place. He needs to be careful and look after them. I'm not saying he needs to drive within his means and really keep them outside from being used, but don't overdrive them, don't go for silly overtakes and waste time.
And as we mentioned, as we mentioned at the beginning of the stream, the only thing I can see that fucks Mav up at the minute, excuse my language, I don't like swearing on the stream, is rain.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there is any rain. It'd be good to see if someone in the chat in the race can confirm if there's rain or not. I mean, Mav, is Mav watching? Do we know?
Mav's definitely watching. Yeah.
Mav, if you're watching, can you just put your car in overtake mode for us? just so we can hear if you're with us, because it'd be quite good to see if you can actually hear us or not.
Well, if Mav can't do it, I'll tell you. I don't mean to take the piss, but if Mav can't do it, I'll tell you one driver that can. Is Alligator. He can.
No, he can't. He's in the bin. Oh,
no, but he's in the chat. He's commenting now.
Is he?
Vasil, Alligator. Is there any rain? Is there any rain due for the race? I do apologise, mate. Bad luck to you, buddy.
It's a poor start, mate. What happened there? Please let us know as well. And as Mick said, you know, is there any chance of rain? Is this why all the cars have gone for the different strategy, or what? No rain plan, says Speechy. Right, okay. Thank you, Speech, for the heads up. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe the strategy has changed. Yeah, that was a really difficult start there for you, Alligator. I mean, you know, you put it on pole. Really good qualifying session. I mean, what happened? You want to let us know? I mean, we saw the start was, you know, I hate to be a bit rude here, but it was pretty poor. You know, you missed your starting grid, and you lit your rears up in the start and nearly lost 3 or 4 positions. But did you just lose the rear in a bit of, again, just got a bit too early on the throttle at the start of the race, or did you get tagged? Do you mind letting us know what happened, please?
And safety cars in this lap. Safety cars already in, I suppose, being so close to the start.
So what have we got? We've got, as of this lap, there's going to be 32 laps to go. So the mediums will be, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's about, let me have a look. So they're going to be 70% worn at the end of this session, immediately. The hards are from this point, right? That's assuming there's no more safety cars, because right now Mav's tyres are basically brand new. They're not going to have anywhere on them. And let's go back to the front actually now. It's a very late start from Cordon Bleu. He still hasn't gone yet. I'm sitting on board with Disco Bobby, and now Cordon Bleu's gone. Now Cordon Bleu. He has done.
And Looney Man has gone for this, but he's had to get out of the throttle. So I think he done it before the safety car line, and he's getting absolutely swamped. Kempy's already got a 3-second time on it, but Looney Man went rather early, and he's been caught out now by Pray For Ye. Pray For Ye's managed to take, currently sitting on board with Looney Man as we speak. And Pray For Ye's on the medium tyre, so he wants to clear Disco Bobby as soon as he can.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting start there. I mean, obviously, it'd be good to get an idea about from the leaders about as it looked like a bad launch there from Royal Rumble coming out end of the Sector 1 split. But it'd be good to get an idea about what happened at the start there, because I mean, normally with someone going early, it dictates that someone's gone then stopped again. And that seems really unlikely as Mav is squaring up for a move on Kempy, round the outside into the hairpin. Is he going to make this work? Late on the brakes. There's a car in front of him, but Kempy leaves space on the outside. Good clean move there.
And he's got to move down, so that's one. There you go. You just took the words right out of my mouth.
Alligator says the wheel was a shit choice. I mean, I think just a bit of complacency maybe. I mean, you know, we can't. The thing is, your rear tyres have been really hot there at the start of that.
Rostocker, you legend. How are you, buddy?
Rostocker, welcome to the stream, buddy. Cordno has got 2 seconds lead already to Pray For You, so Cordno can just saunter now. He doesn't need to push these tyres hard. He's done the minimum thing, which is get away from a second.
Look at Stocker's comment. Look at Stocker's comment, Stiggy. Stocker,
let us reserve is already dead.
he started on pole, Stocker. He was pole.
He's got pace. He had pole.
He was on pole, mate.
Made the mistake. So I'm expecting here to see who's Adam again. Which one's Adam used to be? Who was it?
Disco Bobby.
Disco Bobby. I'm expecting to see Bobby here maybe go for a decent move here on Pray For Ye. I'm surprised to see that the mediums are already struggling, but again, they might have taken, I think everyone might have taken some time to get up to temperature, and I think, because you can see now, look, Pray For Ye is taking 7/10 out of Disco Bobby this sector. He's got away, and I think he'll be safe maybe until turn 1. He's got a fair amount more battery ready as well, as we can see. He's got 74% in the tank, so Pray For Ye is in a good position at the moment in terms of how much battery he's got left, but they're losing 1 second a lap
he's absolutely flying.
As we've got a Looney Man down the inside, I think, down the inside of Disco Bobby. Maybe a little bit of a wheel tap, but nothing too major.
On board with Basin as we speak.
The 2 Ferraris are trying to box Basin into Basin, maybe to go around him, but Speechy has to stay behind.
And Disco Bobby's first man, second man with a time penalty. So Disco Bobby's picked up a 3-second time, and that's another thing we need to take into account. Time penalties round here are an absolute bastard.
They are, yeah. It's really easy to get a warning. I think again the biggest problems are You know, the medium speed right, I think turn 3 is one, be it the apex, or you run too wide and cut turn 4. And again, the small kink right after the second DRS zone. You know, those are the big issues. And again, obviously, then we have the final corner, the final chicane before the World Champions. Any of those are a big risk of penalties here today. You know, so. And
my question to you, Stiggy, as well is, knowing that his championship rival's not racing tonight, I'm very surprised to see Riley still in 7th place, but. And as we see Speechy pull into the pit, and Basson.
Penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Speechy. But can Dave Riley, as much as he wants to just score enough, but can there be a factor of driving too cautious?
I think yes and no. I think right now he's sat in P6. He doesn't seem like
behind his teammate also.
Yeah, Prof is not going to be a threat. I don't think. Royal Rumble on the soft. Surely that's a mistake from Royal Rumble there. But it is getting cloudy, so maybe there's now a threat of rain in the.
Yeah.
Maybe there wasn't a threat at the start. I don't know. But on the softs is a really silly idea. This is softs are useful for maybe 2 or 3 laps. There's no point being any on the softs at all. But I think right now Riley is not under threat from Prof in the Aston. You know, I think Riley and Basson, as they've switched, I don't know if it was deliberate there or not, but
knowing Basson as I do, yeah, that was definite switch.
That was a really well executed move, and again, Basson's there just going to probably try his best right now to protect his teammate. This is all about getting Riley in front on here and just getting home the points between them today, because they can really put Arbadori in Schitt's Creek. You know, is the first thing. As I think everyone's kind of calmed down a bit now. Looks like Pray For Ye and Cordano have levelled and matched each other's pace.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's levelled out slightly.
The thing is, as well, is that these two have now, I think as well, is that Pray For Ye's got away from Disco Bobby in terms of DRS. So Pray For Ye now needs to use these
and now, as you mentioned there, laps. The penalties are all starting to rack up now. Look at the amount of penalties. Look. And Mav is now in 10th, and he's just got into the DRS of Tommy with 2 Ys. And Riley, as you say that, is down to 4th.
And it's Riley's not got DRS here on a Disco Bobby, so Looney Man will probably goodbye him here unless Basson can get involved and box him in. I think, you know, it's a Mercedes Aston little fight going on, I think, but let's see what happens here. So no DRS for Riley. Let's stay on board and go on his rear wing. Is Looney Man in any position to go for a dive? He's not there. Maybe into turn 1 at Basson, having a bit of a look as well. Nice and reserved there from Dave Riley going through the fast chicane, and he's kept clear. Not going to get that down there. Let that get down anytime soon. That'll be a late lunge from Looney Man in yield. So Riley's done the right thing. He's kept his position. The good thing is in front again. Disco Bobby's not in DRS, so you know, there's no risk to Riley getting by at a silly point because they're equal on pace. There's no gain. And now he can see if he can utilise the pace he's got in hand to get back in DRS of Disco Bobby. Bit late on the brakes, and I think it was a bit a day late, $1 short. No DRS for Riley there, and he's lost maybe a tenth and a half in that sector there, just going late on the brakes, right?
And now I'm sitting on board with Maverick. This is holding up Maverick's race. He's got 3 cars having an absolute battle for the ages. But then now they've had too much of a battle. Mav could be going now. Mav's took one. That's great for Mav. Now we can
really nice and patient. He's gone for a dive, and he's got it stopped.
And he's got it done.
Stopped.
But has he?
Nice use of overtake here. He's got a lot more overtake than Mystery has.
He's got DRS as well. That's a great
he's got a lot more overtake than Mystery has. Mystery's had to yield. Fantastic there. Really good use of
Mav. Great from Mav. Now up into 7th. Now his main focus now is to close that 2.3 to Basson in front of him. And Mav is well in this race.
Yeah, thank you, Stocker. I mean, my mic is actually maxed out, Stocker, if I'm being honest. I'm just seeing if I can hear myself. My mic's actually at its highest level. I don't know why it's so quiet, but appreciate the heads up, mate. I'll see if I can make a change. No, it's at the highest level. So, God knows. I'll bring it close to my face.
You know it, yes. As what Stocker said, yes, Mav, overtake of the week. Have we seen the overtake of the week live on our stream? And we called it on board as well.
that was a really good use of patience there. I mean, I could see Mav had a full battery available to him at that point.
And
so
he still has a full...
Yeah.
Look, Stiggy, I'm going to start from Cordon Bleu. And other than that, we are going to go... And Adam, Disco Bobby is just taking Pray For Ye. So these battling behind is just going to help Cordon Bleu, because he's now stretched that lead to over 4.5 seconds.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mick is just too loud. Them Londoners always are. Hello, Steve. We'll have less of that, mate. I'm not from London, mate. I'm a Spaniard. Let's get it right. Vamos!
Pray For Ye in the pit lane now.
He's
so again,
pit.
Absolutely a good strategy call. He's not going to undercut Cordon here, but he will get in front of Disco Bobby and be out of DRS, assuming he stays in a D position. Again, he's going to be out in clean air. He's not going to be involved in anybody else's fight, so he can just Pray For Ye can just again a full pack of battery. He can go out and just take care of himself and the car and just put in some decent laps in order to try and essentially maybe get a 2, 3, 4 lap undercut on Cordno and possibly a 10 lap undercut on everyone else on the hards.
Yeah, and in that talking, Basson's overtook Looneyman as well, so you've got the two Mercs lying astern in third and fourth, who are currently 80 points in the lead in the constructors, with only one McLaren running tonight, who are in second place. There's Speechy's custom 3-second time penalty. Now, you know what? If Speechy, I've raced with Speechy for a hell of a long time. I've raced with Speechy in the league before we joined PGR. I invited Speechy to PGR. Now, Speechy would be an absolute... If Speechy learned how to cut his time penalties down, Speechy would be up in the division above this, guaranteed, fighting for titles. I believe so.
Well, I don't know what he needs to do now. Again, I mean, I'm obviously keeping my eyes peeled here on Mav. I think. Yeah, I'm on Mav now. Right now, the problem he's got is that he's losing time to the cars in front. He's lost well over, I think, nearly about a second since he went for that amazing triple overtake on the cars in front, because they're essentially DRS sharing. I mean, Looneyman and Basson can work together. That's a big factor in this game. I've noticed that over the last couple of races. It's really difficult on a track like this as well, but Mav's not got to worry. He does not want to push these tyres too hard, because he can just about maybe get to the end of the race. It could be difficult as he goes really deep. Lee needs to listen. Mav really needs to calm down, because he's just pushing a little too hard. As we've got Looneyman and Basson side by side into the fast right. Looneyman goes deep. Basson looks for a switchback. Uses a bit of the grass. No, a little bit of decent. And this is only going to help Mav, and it has helped Mav by 7 tenths. Look at that. Nearly a second he's pulled back, Mav. Look, we jump on board with Mav now, and there's a caution. Where's that? That's the mystery, yeah. Yeah, and now Mav's got the striking view. So Mystery's race here has been buggered. I mean, he's going to have to put a new wing on and a set of mediums that won't go at the end of the race. His mediums are not going to make it. So let's update Stocker for you, just to update you, buddy. Alligator crashed on the first lap. There was a safety car. Mav started on mediums, and Mav's already pit, knowing that these hards will be able to take him till the end of the race, albeit will be struggling slightly, but all of the cars in front of Mav have to pit. Yeah. So someone's gone wide. Looney Is that car okay? And he's got no front wing damage. Luckily, escaped for Looney, but he's probably quite peeved off with his little accident there. But Mav up into P5. Now, what I do want to check, admittedly, is the gap to the leader for Mav. So Mav is currently 10 seconds behind Cordno, right? There's, again, what did I mention at the start of this? A 16-second pit stop time. Is that right? Yep. Yeah. So the pit loss time of 16 seconds. So right now, Mav is 5.5, 6 seconds in the lead of this race as a pit lane retirement for Royal Rumble. Pit lane retire. Okay, I thought that was going to be a safety car. Bit of a sad one there, but again, Mav is currently 10.5 seconds. 6.5 seconds clear of the lead right now. But because he's not in DRS, so we can't really bring that time down. The problem is that he's going to have, at this point, 12 lap, after the safety car, 10 lap older tyres than everyone else around him. Now that's not a bad thing. I think, it's a worthwhile risk for Mav being at the back. You may as well go to the end and see how far you can take him. You just said it there as well. You know what? As much as we're talking up the win for Mav, but from the back of the grid, pit lane,
A podium. I believe that if we offered Mav a podium right now, Mav will snatch our hand off. I'll tell you that
exactly.
now.
I mean the gap. I mean, where is he about? He's Mav's actually taking another second out of Cordno because his tyres. Those mediums are starting to wear out already. Cordno really could do with pitting now because those hards can easily make it from this point. Right, and he can throw them around as much as he dares, and they can do 20 laps, no questions asked. He's going to come out, admittedly, just behind the Kempe Destructive J battle, just in front of Pray For Ye.
And there's another 3 seconds. And there we go, just as we speak, he's pitting in now, gets it slowed down in time. So that makes Dave Riley, this is not what Arbeck Glory wants to see himself, wants to see for himself.
Basson just hit the wall. Basson just hit the wall of champions there, probably, you know, trying to right himself. He's got wing damage, so Basson now has got wing damage. The good news is he can go to the end from here on the mediums. It'll be really difficult, but they could just about make it.
And now really Mav finds himself up into 4th.
Yeah, and if Mav, I think
right now... he's dropped Looney Man, so he's not going to come under attack from Looney Man behind. Absolutely, he's dropped Looney Man, so...
Yeah, and I think during this sector he might be able to catch up to Baston and maybe get DRS going into the
well, there we go, he's took four attempts out of him in just that one corner.
Yeah,
and then we go Mystery, fastest lap, so...
Yeah, he's got good pace. The problem is he's going to have to box again, I think, and even with a safety car, he should box again regardless. Any safety car from here, every single person... Right, I think really should maybe play Cordno.
Cordno's currently getting held up. Cordno's currently getting held up by Kempe, and he's still got to overtake Jay.
Oh, contact!
Oh, they've had a contact.
No, as Kempe just maybe runs a little bit deeper, maybe Cordno squeezes him. I'm not entirely sure. Looks like the car is intact, so he will be able to fight another day. But Cordno's got no battery. Kempe
and they're still side by side. They're still side by side. They're going to go to the Wall of Champions.
Everyone stays clear, but looks like Mystery. Mystery's in the wall. Mystery's in the wall. This could be a safety car here. He's in the wall. End of sector 2. He does get going again, but Mystery's race goes from bad to worse here today, and he's really pissed off.
Okay.
Yeah. Lit up his front wheels. He's got wing damage again. Mystery here, I think, you know, needs the box. Put a fresh.
And there's another 2 tenths, 3 tenths that Mav stuck out of Basson. He's now 1.3 behind.
Basson's staying out here, which, to be fair, I think, you know, it could be just a case of waiting until he can stay on long enough to get the tyres to, you know, so he can pit happily onto the mediums and go to the end. I think
Mav only seems to really, obviously he's got wing damage, but Mav only really seems to be catching him in the corners. It seems like Basson's got an absolute rocket ship in a straight line.
Yeah, it'd be good to see. I wonder if my sim dash will actually tell me the status of the wing damage on Basson.
Now this is going to tell us now. Look, 1.2 at the start of this straight, and now look, he's just pulling away from them. Mav's obviously now using the ERS.
I don't know what's happened to Pray For Ye, but he just got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. I only just cut back to him, but it'd be good to see what happened there because I'm not entirely going to keep on board just in case any kind of foul play here. Let's have a look.
No, Cordon Bleu's managed to
No, he stayed on. No, Pray For Ye has stayed on, so I don't think there's any initial foul play, but a 10-second penalty for corner cutting, that's ridiculous.
Look at that, Stiggy, look. They're on the straight, Mav was 1.2 behind Basson. Now down the straight, now he's catching him again through the corners, but he got to 1.6 through the Wall of Champions.
Yeah,
Pray For Ye's got another 3 seconds.
So the advantage right now for Basson is he's got, again, he's carrying wing damage and he knows that, right? The good news is it doesn't seem massively major. I think it's still recommended that when he does pit, he takes the chance.
He still changes it, yeah.
But he's got less drag now on the car. You know, he's not, you know, on a track like this, again, something like Monza as well, wing damage isn't the worst thing in the world. It's not going to hamper your race that much. You know, so if you're going to get damage anywhere,
there goes Mav now, patching him now.
So Mav, I think, now will be in DRS.
Stays out.
Yeah, Mav will be in DRS here. He's not going to get past Basson now. Let's just have a quick look, see what the gap between Cordno and Mav is. Let's have a look. So it's 14.5 seconds to 5.7. So I can't do the maths in my head. 7, 8 seconds, I think,
about 9 seconds. 90. What's he got there? Look, he's got 5.2, 7.2, 8.2. About 9 seconds he's got.
Yeah. So,
with caution. And it's a
Kempe's
Red
made a
Bull.
mistake.
I believe that's
Yeah,
Kempe.
Yeah, but he's carried on. Bit of a shame for him there, but he's carried on.
And while all this is going off, Dave Riley's just sitting out in front. He's now recharged. At one stage, I looked at Dave Riley. I do find this game's a lot easier to recharge your ERS, but at one stage, I looked at Dave Riley. He was on 17% ERS.
It's pit lane retirement for Mystery, so it's a bad day out for the Haas team today. But again, it's a bit of a poor performance from them today. But you know, it's you'll live and you learn from these kind of mistakes.
And Mavs took Basson before the Wall of Champions. Mavs now up on the podium, and currently Mavs sitting in second place with that.
Basson's not had enough. Basson's not had enough yet. He wants to look at it. He's going to go down the inside. No, he's not. He hasn't got enough.
I don't think he's going to have enough.
Thought about it. Basson thought about it there.
Destructive J, another 3 seconds for J.
Yeah, as the gap now is 7.5 seconds now between Cordner and Mav.
So he is catching.
Yeah, he's catching him, and I think
he will get 12-1.
12-1 for Cordner is really good speed. There's no doubt. Oh, it's Mav
making
a mistake.
Mav's had a moment. Basson's got in front of him again. Oh, and Basson rubs the wall.
Yeah, and this is the point now as well. So Mav now is having to you know, compensate now. Those tyres are starting to be tired, and the thing is as well is that he hasn't got any more grip than the cars around him. The cars around him have got one lap older tyres. Or not even that. It's what, half a sector lap older or something silly, isn't it?
What's Mav's thinking here? Does he just say, Trungo's calling, you've raced a better race, knowing that the 3 cars in front of him, the 1 car behind him in Prof, does he just say, I'm going to pit onto the medium and race you guys around me? Basson's pit, Disco Bobby's now pit. If Mav is going to pit and go on a set of mediums, he needs to make that decision within the next 1 or 2 laps.
He's right. He needs to make a decision now. I don't know if it's a bad idea. The fact is, right now, is that Mav's biggest rival is Cordno, right? Who's going to be, you know, catching up behind him so now the gap's down to
4.8.
5 seconds. So he's already going to catch him. But the next car after that is another 5 seconds behind, and then you've got. You know, what is Disco Bobby 3 seconds behind. So Mav has got, what is that, 12 seconds, right, realistically speaking, to the podium. You know, that's not a bad situation to be in.
But that Disco Bobby, and what we need to take into account is, apart from Cordon Bleu, 1, 2, 3, 4 are absolutely stacked with pennies. Well,
yeah, agreed.
Pray for ye's 13 seconds. Adam, Disco Bobby's 3, Destructive J 6, Speechy 16.
Yeah.
Now I did see a comment from Stocker. Saying, and just as we speak, he's answered our question. Mav's pit, along with Dave Riley.
Mav has followed him. So again, I think it's a valid decision to try.
Me personally, I think that's a great decision from Mav to pit.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I mean, the cars around him are suffering. I don't think there's any doubt that it was maybe a good idea. I think, you know, the tyres would have made it, but whether it was contextually the best idea or not is a question. The difference you had, I think he should come out just in front of Basson here, I think, because Basson did Basson have a wing change as well? He did, yeah. So Basson had a wing change and still undercut him by 3 seconds. So that's a big difference in pace, right? Now, so Mavi's out in P6. He's net 5th because you've got Speech. He's got a box. Okay, Speechy might make it to the end on the tyres he's already on, but it'll be a push. But Mav will probably dispatch him.
Yeah, but Speechy's got 16. Speechy's got 2 3-second time penalties and a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah. Mav is absolutely
just as we talk of that, he's just picked up another 3. Speechy's now on 19. Speechy wants to make sure he doesn't get disqualified.
Exactly, yeah. You know, I think Mav's staring down the barrel
now,
of the
here's the question. Dave Riley's just took pray for ye. He's on the mediums. Cordon Bleu is on the hard, and he's 4.7 behind. Does Dave Riley attack for the win and get the extra 5 points, or does he say, Big Dory's not racing today, he's got a 2-point lead in front of me, 8 points, okay. But so is he happy? More. Is he happy with second?
I wouldn't be. He can see it. The difference is, right, he's got 4.5 seconds over 13 laps is nothing. Right, and the fact is, and you know, the 3.5, once he's got within a second, right, he can do whatever he likes at that point. He's in no... There's going to be... The chance of other drivers catching him to that extent is going to be a little bit slim. You've got Disco Bobby, who I think will dispatch a Pray for Ye pretty immediately. Riley and Disco Bobby can work together, I think, and perhaps catch Cordano as a group and really pressure that RB.
Do you know what? I don't think Riley needs Disco Bobby. He took half a second out of Cordon Bleu.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, it's all about bragging rights as well. I do know this is race number 5. Max Lax has 1 win. Riley has 1 win. His championship rival RB Dory has 2 wins.
Yeah, I think Mav. I think Riley's 11-9.
Speaking of Riley,
really good pace here. So
he's flying.
The difference
Riley.
is though, it's close pace. I mean, Cordano's best lap was only a 12-1. So the peak pace between the hards and the mediums isn't actually that significant during the race. I think, but unless that was an overtake, I think during this lap from Riley, it depends on where he did it. But again, he's lost. He's 2/10 down in the first sector already, right? So he's got to keep vigilant and just whittle away the gap without pushing too hard. What we don't want to do is, try and find the limit during the race and all of a sudden lose 3/10. I'm going to get back. And
do you want to do us in the stream a favour? Because here's another one for you. Obviously, we know what this track's like for warnings, and he has to say that he goes really deep. Does Riley? Do you want to check?
That's half a second gone.
Do you want to check the current warning situation between Cordon Bleu and Riley?
The current amount of warnings, absolutely, I can do, yeah. So Cordon Bleu right now, I think he had picked up 1 in lap 11, 2. So Cordon Bleu looks to have 2 warnings, assuming they're both for corner cutting, but he has 2 warnings on his lane, as Riley has 1. Let's see how we get on here. So Riley just set a 12.3. Let's have a look at Cordon Bleu's time. It's 13.2. So he's still catching nearly a second a lap. And Riley will see that. But the thing is, if he didn't get deep in that hairpin, there'd have been another half a second.
Yeah,
right?
Of
and this
course,
is what Riley will know, is that every single time he goes deep as well, he's reducing that tyre wear even more than he needs to, right? He's going to catch, he's going to catch Cordano. It's not an if, it's a when, right? And once he's there, he can work out how to want to dispatch this guy. Now, he could either, charge up his battery behind him for a little while, maybe even wait until Disco Bobby's got involved to see if he can maybe get some sort of carnage. Who knows? I mean, he's got a chance to play this really well.
But I don't think he needs to think about this. I don't think he needs to think about Disco Bobby, knowing that Disco Bobby's got a 3-second time penalty. And to be honest, disrespect to Disco Bobby, I don't think Disco Bobby's going to catch Riley. I think Riley will maintain that 2.2 seconds that he's got on him, to be, in my opinion.
The difference in the gap maybe on more pace, but it depends on what Cordano has and how he's going to defend this, because Cordano knows the longer he keeps Riley in a race with him, the worse and worse those mediums are going to feel, because the mediums, realistically speaking, are not the race tyre. Right, they're not compared to the hard tyres, and the hards are going to wear out. What is it? 25 laps on the hards, it's probably going to be okay, but 20 laps on the mediums, 15 laps on the mediums, they're going to be near the end of their life cycle already.
Because you're saying that now, the hards are more than likely coming into their own right about now. He's on 10 lap on hards.
Yeah, so I think we'll expect to. I think Cordano gets a penalty.
Got 3 seconds. There you go. Yeah. Right. Now, what does that do to Dave Riley's thinking? Is he just going to sit there now? Is he just going to sit there, maintain it within that gap? Obviously, you don't want to win the race under time penalty, obviously, but when you're in the zone, gives Riley, in a way, hello Pigeon, how you doing, bud? In a way, as mad as it may sound, that penalty for Cordon Bleu could be a bit of a hindrance to Riley, because that just gives him another thing to think about. It's going to doubt him now. It's going to make him doubt. Do I just stick with him, or do I just go for it and go for the overtake and win it on track? It just gives him something else to think about that he didn't want to think about in the beginning.
I think Riley will still be inclined to go for the move, but now you can see that gap is not dropping as quickly between the two drivers now. What have we got? So Riley's previous lap time, let's have a quick look as we jump on his race director, was a 12.4. Right, so he's lost another 3/10. Each lap he's losing 3/10 of a second on his previous lap, as Cordano set a 12.6. Right, so all of a sudden, that 1 second a lap increase is now only 0.2 of a second.
Well, now it's down to either. I don't know if Cordon Bleu's had if he's had a moment, or Riley's had a decent corner. He's just took nearly 4 attempts out of him now. And with caution. Speechy's retired. He's in the pit lane. So it's not a problem. One thing that surprised me, Mav, one thing that surprised me, Stiggy, is Mav has only caught Pray For Ye by 7 tenths in the last 2.5 laps.
So let's have a look at Mav's lap speed right now. So Mav is lapping in the mid-12s, very consistent admittedly. Last 3 laps, 12.4, 12.4, 12.4, right? So he's you know, not lapping slow, he's lapping a similar speed actually to F1 Riley in the lead. Problem is Pray For Ye, let's have a look at his lap speed here.
Pray For Ye, I've answered the question, but Pray For Ye's being towed along by Disco Bobby in front of him.
Yeah, and this is what DRS does. So the thing is that Mav is probably not going to catch, because you know, Pray For Ye can sit here. Look how much battery Pray For Ye's got as well. You've got literally, Disco Bobby's got no battery left. Pray For Ye could at any point, if he sees a mistake, just pounce on him. Right, you know, because look at this, look at the behaviour of that Ferrari. He's all over the place in the curves. You know, Pray For Ye has got every chance of just launching a dive here and pushing Disco Bobby into a mistake. You know, we're going to see it, I think, eventually here, because I think these guys are both equal on penalties as well. Are they? Can I have a look? How do I view that? No. Okay, Pray For Ye's got another 10 seconds, but you know.
Yeah, but I did see Stocker say in the chat that Pray For Ye could get that removed.
Yeah,
so there's always that chance. There's always that chance that you can get it removed.
Agreed. I think it was 10-second penalty for corner cutting, so it'd be interesting to see what the report dictates. But look at the straight line speed difference here. Pray For Ye practically pushing Disco Bobby down the back straight, because Disco Bobby's got no battery left. And again, now look at the gap. The gap between F1 Riley and Cordno has not changed. No. That was a 12
and he goes deep there. He nearly goes into the back of him to Pray For Ye. But he went very deep there, did Disco Bobby. Very, very deep into the first corner.
Yeah, there was a 12.8 there for Riley. So all of a sudden, this pace he's lost. You know, in the space of, I don't know how many laps it's been since he set that.
Oh, and he's lost it! Disco Bobby's lost it! Disco Bobby's lost it! He lost too much curb. So there we go. And does that bring Mav into it as well? Mav's took him already. Already.
So, and you saw, I mentioned the lap before, the attitude of that Ferrari, like just the lap before, was riding that curve and you saw the rear go. Why he didn't make a change to his driving style at that point, I don't know, because the tyres are not going to stick like they used to 10 laps ago. Right, they're just not the same anymore. He's got to drive differently.
Riley's now down to 1.3.
Yep.
And so look how close, I'm on board with Riley, look how close he is now to Cordon Bleu.
Yep. Let's have a look. So it looks like both of them have started to pick the pace up, I think, a little bit. So not in terms of their overall lap pace, but the kind of risk.
Exactly equal on the ERS as well.
So Riley just set a 12.3 compared to Cordno's 12.7.
And Disco Bobby picks up another 3-second time penalty. So that brings Basson into it now.
Yeah, Basson's on got a penalty himself, but Disco Bobby's going to be, I think, kind of in a bit of a
raging underneath down, driving angry at the minute
here today. Yeah. Exactly. The good news is for Mav, Pray For Ye no longer has a buddy to work with. So Mav now, depending on how his tyres work, again he's only got 6 laps, and I think it's unlikely Mav's going to gain well over a second a lap here to Pray For Ye. However, but Pray For Ye has got 13 seconds of penalties. Let's assume it's only 3.
Yeah, so Mav only needs to gain 3.8 seconds.
Which is probably doable given what tyres Pray For Ye's on. So Pray For Ye to set a 43.79 over the first 2 sectors. Where's Mav in all this? 43.6. So they're actually similar pace at this point, which dictates to me that the crossover between the tyre compounds is starting to happen. We're noticing that, as you see now, look, Riley's just caught.
Well, I reckon what this is from Riley, as much as he wants to go for the win, I reckon, because he's used a lot of his DRS now, Riley, I reckon this is Riley just throwing himself a bit of a safety blanket, just in case anything happens. He's getting himself as close as he can, just to make sure that he's within that 3 seconds. And in saying that, he's now in DRS. He's now in DRS. Is he going to go for the move? And here's the first detection zone.
Yeah, I think Riley really here should be charging his battery at the end of the straights. He's just lost himself. He was charging all the way down that straight, and now he's lost DRS to Cordano. You should be really, utilising. He's just used all the
he's
battery
back into it now.
Riley just saved. All the battery Riley just saved on that back straight. He's used it all and then some, only to not get DRS on Cordano. Right,
oh, caution.
Yeah, it's a blue flag. I think Kemp getting by. Yeah. But again now, so Riley's in DRS, but only a single DRS detection point, so he won't get it here either. And now you've got Cordano, who has managed to stay clear of Riley. I think again it's a 13.0 to a 12.9, so again similar pace between the two drivers. But
let's be honest, Stiggy. Riley's doing what he needs to do. As much as he's going to want to come across the line in first, if somebody looks at the results in a week's time, they're not going to see Gordon Blur got 3 seconds. They're going to see number one, Riley. That's what they're going to see in a week's time when there's somebody looks at the result. And you look at that, he's now back up to 55% now.
Yeah, exactly. So again, now he's in DRS. He can charge his battery. Look at him doing it now. Look, he's charging that battery now all the way down this next straight. He's going to take a decent corner here, then use a bit of overtake. Yeah, again, it's going to reduce the chances of Basson getting by.
Basson's now on 9, okay? He's on 9. He's going to lose to Mooney, man, and possibly Prof.
Yeah.
Tommy with 2. Look at that. Between the two Red Bull drivers, Tommy with 2 Ys and Kempy got 36 seconds. There he is, Diablo. He was asking for him. He's there. Hello, Gaz. How you doing, bro? Hope you and the family are well, bud. Big shout out to Bella. R.I.P. Bella. But yeah, look, 36 seconds between the two Red Bull drivers. Shouldn't laugh, but
that's a good effort, to be fair. I mean, credit where it's due. It's like
now Dave Riley's now on 100% ERS. Gordon Blur's on 40.
Yep. So he's done the right thing. He got in DRS and charged at the right point on this track, which is on the big long straight, where you gained 0.4 of a second if you sat in the slipstream, and he's charged a battery up doing that instead. And now he could even, if he wants to, just pressure Cordano into making a mistake.
And we were talking about Mav was 6.4. Mav's at a moment. He's now 8 seconds behind. But
it looks like he set a 14.4 previous lap, so he must have made a mistake there.
15th to 4th on the grid. That would do, Mav. Pick up decent
Mav nearly made a mistake. We jump on board with him and he nearly loses it again. As we've got a caution set to 2. Oh no, looks like Bobby's binned it. Bobby's binned it on track again, and he's had to yield, so he's down to P8 now. This is insane. We've got drivers making mistakes, touching that curb, and it's the same place. He just did it.
Now here goes Dave Riley with DRS, with ERS. Is he going to get as close as he can? This is going to be like a dagger through Arbadori's heart. This is not what he wants to see. This is not what he wants to see. His championship rival picking up maximum points.
I will note, Riley got a warning for that last lap. I think he cut the final corner and he got a warning now. So Cordano might have seen that. Look at him charging here. The attitude of the RB now should be right. Can I blind Riley from seeing the apex? Can I get him to turn too early? Can I just push him a bit? You know, really squeeze his space to see if he can force Riley into an error, because he's won this race. If he just behaves correctly and gets Riley a penalty, then it's a straight slug. You know, Riley here being smart and just waiting. I mean, these DRS games, I'm not entirely sure they're very fair, because I mean, you've got Riley backing off throttle, you know, in order to stay behind Cordano. Cordano is in none here. He's got a full battery tank, a little bit of a lift for him as well, but the pace of these two drivers has stopped, right? They've all of a sudden lost a second and a half. There's Cordano now. He's not even done for his battery. It looks like Cordano's actually going to charge his battery and then get Riley another time. Which way is he going to get Riley to the inside? Cordano will not do anything here apart from just stick behind him. Let's see how these two take the chicane. Is Riley going to cut the corner? Nice and safe there. Cordano has got tokens, you see. He's taken his penalty. He might have 1 or 2 warnings still left to take on this on this next one. So Cordano can afford to really push Riley into making an error here. And this is the big difference now, is that
to be honest, I think Riley's too smart of a driver to be forced into an error. Riley knows what's
Cordano's touched the grass. Cordano's touched the grass. He's lost it.
Riley knows what time it is. I've raced with Riley. I've raced with Dave Riley long enough. He knows what time it is. He ain't going to be pulled into any battles and all stuff like that. If Gordon Blur wants to play games, I believe Riley would just say to him, as much as Riley would want to cross the line in first place, I just think Dave Riley's too much of a clever driver to get pulled into any shenanigans this late into the race. He knows if Cordon Bleu wants to overtake him now, he can.
His contact and someone's lost his wing. Cordon Bleu's lost his wing on Riley's rear end. So Riley,
I don't believe that was intentional, in my opinion.
Riley lost the rear there into the apex. Cordon Bleu went for, I think, carried on and lost his wing here. So let's see what happens. I mean, I don't know if I can blame Riley for that, but after all, Riley made a mistake.
Oh, he's hit the wall again. He's hit the wall with champions again.
He's already got damage to that corner. Last lap now. Let's see how these two get on. I mean, the fact is now, if Riley pushes too hard and gets a penalty, it's all over. But Riley now could just bring it home.
I think Dave Riley, after what's just happened there, I think Dave Riley, he's sensible enough. And he's hit the wall again there, Cordon Bleu. I think Dave Riley's just sensible enough now. He's got 60% in the tank. Go on, you cross the line first. I'll give you that gratification, but I'm going to be the one standing on the top step of the podium. He doesn't want to give him too much of a leeway because he's now 1.3.
And look at the pace of what Cordon Bleu had in the tank at the end of this. Even with wing damage, he's taking Riley here. These mediums have really fell off at the end of this race. More than I expected they will, actually, to be honest. But Riley could make a boo-boo. Oh, someone's dropped it on track. Looks like it's Tommy MC has made a mistake at the last minute.
No, it's Sebastian. It's Basson. So we're going to jump on board with Cordon Bleu. Riley's dumped his tank. Riley needs to tiptoe now through this last chicane. And it's Cordon Bleu, crosses the line in first place, but we know he's going to drop down. And the winner of this race, Dave Riley, for win number 2, Cordon Bleu in second. Pray for ye, fantastic drive for third. We're going to have to wait and see if that penalty does get removed. Mav surprised me, dropped off quite in the end. He didn't really have a great stint on that second set of mediums. He comes home in theoretical third. But we'll see what happens to his time. But shout out to by the way, shout out to Riley, shout out to Looney Man. I believe the only 2 drivers who went penalty free round Canada, 35 laps. That is something.
Yeah, it's a good effort. Yeah,
we don't know there, Mav. Mav, we don't know there, mate. Pray for you, might get his 10 seconds removed, bud.
Credit to, exactly. Well done
Roth in third. Unlucky to Disco Bobby in 7th. Basson in 8th at the moment on the last lap. Destructive J smashes it just for one last time, gives it a wiggle across the line. Pray for you. Great drive from you there, buddy. Absolute fantastic drive, mate. Pigeon, thank you. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in tonight. Let's get Mav, driver of the day. Right, we need to vote our driver of the day. Well, it's going to have to be Mav. He's finished 3rd or 4th from the back of the grid. So Mav definitely gets my driver of the day.
Yeah, Mav's done really well today. I think I think he drove it was a pretty clinical race. I mean, he didn't get involved in other people's accidents. It was an amazing triple overtake as well. I mean, credit.
Yeah.
We need to really re-highlight that overtake that he did. I think he almost may have seen it coming. So really good job dispatching people at the right time. When you have the chance and not forcing it, sometimes saves your race. Mav today, he was at the back with I think must have been a quali ban. I don't know.
Quali ban.
To recover to even like the top 4, right, was a good effort. I think he made the right decision in the end, moving on to the mediums. Maybe those hard tyres would have, maybe just about held on, but would he have been in a better position than in the NP4? Probably not.
I don't think so.
I think credit to Cordon Bleu, I think, for kind of just clinically leading the race from turn 1, but you'd have won that race if you didn't take all those warnings, mate.
Sorry, my bad as well. I only called out Riley and Looney Man. Mav, you went penalty free as well. Massive shout out to you, mate. And that just even more secures your driver of the day. Riley got fastest lap. So, we've only got 4 seconds. I'm just going to scroll down. We ain't going to be able to get through the good. Unlucky Alligator.
I think it's a real shame for Alligator. I mean, it was looking to be a good, V-carb 1-2 today, and I don't think he'll be best pleased with what he did. But he'll come back from this. It's just it'll just come
Yeah,
as
it's just one of them things, mate. One of them things. But
Exactly.
yeah, look, just want to shout out to all the people in the stream. Hopefully if I don't miss you all, but shout out to Basson, shout out to Jay, shout out to Dad, Diablo, Gaz, Mav, Pray for Ye, Pigeon, Alligator, Mr. Dave Riley, great drive. Arbeg Dory, you got some work to do next week, buddy. Egolf Hazard, Vamos, come on. Tomorrow we go. Tomorrow we go, buddy. Driver of the season so far in DTS. Right, but gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Stiggy, thank you so much, buddy. Been an absolute pleasure again.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, thank you so much for
having you in the comms box.
Join me in the seat. Again, I obviously Masters is stopped racing now, but I think they're running a no assists division. Yeah. So I mean, anybody watching the stream tonight, if you are interested in joining that, who isn't racing on a Tuesday, then I think message Manic and you should be able to join up that as well. So I'll probably be doing a no assist division now on a Tuesday until the end of the season. But thank you so much for letting me join. Yeah,
no worries, mate. You know, whenever you're not racing, mate, the door's always open, mate. Just a message away. And as I do always in the stream, you know who we are. We're PGR. We're races every day of the week. Tune in to Armin and Big Frank, and I believe Mav's back on comms tomorrow. Mav, you on comms tomorrow in DTS? Or if it's not Mav, it's Lemons. That's DTS tomorrow. Only log on to the stream if you're supporting Vamos. If not, go and watch another stream. Thursday, we got F2. Fridays, we got Realistic. We have a little day off on Saturday. Then we're back for Sundays, back Mondays, race every day of the week. Tune into all the other commentators. We've got massive, great commentators in this league. And yeah, gentlemen, as always, I've been Mick. He's been Stiggy. It's been an absolute great stream tonight. Riley, fantastic, mate. And yeah, I'll be back next week. Don't even know what race it is, but I'll definitely be back next week. I'll be back on Sundays for Legacy. And as always, as I end my stream, boys, we'll catch you on the rebound. So Mav, there you go. Mav's not back. It'll be Lemons tomorrow, I do believe then. But yeah, gentlemen, as I'm not by myself tonight, myself and Stiggy will both catch you all on the rebound. Have a great week and take care in whatever you're doing, gentlemen. Listen, have a good one.